Most videos like this complain about the class, saying it's terrible, it's broken and unbalanced, things like that. This is not one of those videos. For the next few minutes, I'm just going to tell you that the Barbarian is probably one of the most well-designed classes in all Dungeons & Dragons. Welcome to Intelligence 14 Wisdom 2, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Barbarian. Part of it's just going to be, hey, this is a cool thing, but also, we can learn something from this. Because the Barbarian was built around a very specific thing. They were designed to be tanks. If you're unfamiliar with what the tank actually means, let me give you a bit of a refresher. Tank, at least the gaming version of the tank, originated in the game World of Warcraft. The idea was that one character had a bunch of health, and they tricked the enemies, who were all controlled by the computer, into thinking that they should attack this person, because, you know, they do the most damage or something like that. They're the biggest threat. So they attack this person who has a lot of health. So they take all the damage. Meanwhile, the other people who don't have a lot of health, who are focused more on damage and stuff, they are not being attacked by the enemies. It was one of the roles in World of Warcraft, and it was pretty nice. However, in D&D, you can't trick things that easily. You can't trick an actual living, breathing goblin into attacking you even when there's a wizard, like, right over there. So their designers had to get creative. They had to figure out, what can we do to make this fill the role of tank in a game where the enemies, at least if you're running them properly, are thinking creatures. So with that in mind, let's start on rage. What is rage? Why is rage so good? Well, firstly, it just feels awesome. You get to take half damage from a lot of stuff, which feels great. Normally the enemies only take half damage, now you get to take half damage. You also get to do more damage, and you have advantage on strength checks, which I guess makes sense, but why was this put here? The reason that this advantage on strength checks, and not just, you know, strength attacks, but strength checks specifically, is that you can do things like shoving, grappling, tripping, that all involve the athletics skill, or just a strength check. Particularly, grapple is important. You can take a person and grab them, and they can't move, meaning they can't move over to fight the people who are squishy. They have to fight you. You see where it's coming in? Next ability I'm going to highlight is their reckless attack. You're more likely to hit, but also enemies are more likely to hit you. This one gives them a bunch of options. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with this. You're specifically designed to take a lot of damage, so it's not too terrible if the enemies can easily hit you. Actually, it's really good if the enemies can hit you. So what you do is you make a reckless attack, hit, and do a bunch of damage, and now the enemies say, oh, we gotta deal with this guy, alright? But hey, I see an opportunity. Let's go for it. There's also another thing you can do with this. You can do reckless attack around enemy spellcasters, because reckless attack is for attack rolls. They have advantage on their attack rolls against you. So, if they want to use that, if they're saying, I see an opportunity, they blast you with an attack roll spell. Now what's good about attack roll spells? They're usually single target spells, meaning they don't do area of effect. Meaning that if you get up to the wizard and they say, alright, he's given me an opportunity, I want to use that. Now, they are using the single attack on you as opposed to an area of effect, which might hit you and somebody behind you. You see, all of these abilities can make you a better tank in a game where the enemies are logical, as long as the DM plays them logical. Now let's talk about the ability to get at later levels called Fast Movement and Feral Instinct. You can move faster, and you have advantage on initiative rolls. Why would a bruiser character, why would a barbarian, who's here to come and smash things, why would they need to move faster? Wouldn't that be a rogue's thing? And why would they need better initiative? Wouldn't that also be a rogue's thing? There's actually a very specific reason. Initiative determines who goes first, and movement helps with your positioning. So, if, hypothetically, the barbarian were to go first, and they were able to get into any position they wanted to, what they do is they'd get right in front of the enemy, so the enemy would have to go through them in order to get to the people that the barbarian is trying to tank for, trying to defend. So, you get plus 10 movement and advantage on initiative rolls, meaning you can get into position, you can get in front, even if, you know, they came from behind. It's a big dramatic, aha, I've got you now. But they don't, because you can move into position and move before everybody else, if your advantage initiative actually has an effect. All of the Barbarians' features are designed around this role, and the ones that you never would have expected when you heard the word Barbarian. Somebody who goes into a battle rage and becomes powerful. You wouldn't think moves faster, reacts faster. But it's part of the role that barbarians are designed to fill, which is why they're just incredibly well designed. I want to say thank you for letting me, it's not rant, is it? It's more of a unrant, because I'm actually saying things are good instead of bad. But if you do want to see me rant about something, then check out this video where I talk about why the champion subclass is just terrible. The barbarian's well designed, champion is terribly designed.